Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the New Listings Live. I'm Etienne Mellor, and my friend here is Mike Francois. We've got a jam-packed show today with two huge topics that we're going to be shaking up the market.
Yeah, but before we get into that, we also have some news that has been happening that could actually affect the Canadian imports with those tariffs. So, anything to say about that?
Well, yeah, the U.S. has agreed to delay tariffs on Canadian goods for 30 days, but the situation is far from settled, as you all know. We'll break down what that could mean for our economy and what it could mean more especially for our real estate markets.
So first, let's kick things off with the brand new listings. So we have Marie-Yvonne Paint and Samuel Demers at that 77 Dwight. Now, we had the opportunity of actually meeting with Mr. Demers last week.
What a great interview we had. We had the view too. Samuel was nice enough to invite me, myself and the team. And we got to have a great conversation about who he is, what he does, what he likes, what he doesn't like, and of course the real estate market. So
a great athlete with a lot of discipline.
You got to check it out. Go on Spotify and you'll see the whole conversation there. We've got Lily Lee.
Lily Lee, let me tell you something. She works extremely hard every season. She does not sleep. I see her almost every day, asking questions every day. Her success is undoubtedly
booming.
It goes without saying. At 1045 Wellington. And follow through with that, we do have Carly Friedman, another powerhouse. I mean, she's just started the year and she's already killing it. So,
and speaking of good markets, I had a conversation with Carly yesterday, and she just was telling me that December and January was just unbelievable. The market is really active. So good signs, I guess, for what's upcoming for 2025.
It is, but let's get into those trade talks.
That's right. So last night, U.S. officials decided to pause the new tariffs on Canadian imports, 25% on most goods and 10% on energy, giving both countries a 30-day window, Mike, as you know. But this isn't over yet, right?
No, it's not over. And actually, I was taking a look at what they were writing this morning. They're predicting that this could be a full-blown trade war if this thing ends up following through. So this could possibly last for years, to be honest with you. And we could be looking at a rising unemployment. We're looking at weaker Canadian dollar and even interest rate that the Bank of Canada might bring down just to stimulate the economy and keep everyone afloat.
So how does that all impact the housing market? You must be asking yourself. Well, on the lowering the interest rate for sure could make mortgages more affordable for buyers. But the uncertainty could also make some buyers hesitant to act. I think we're not there though, but we could get there. And that might create unique opportunities for those ready to move.
Yeah, and it's a tricky balance, to be honest, because on one hand, you do have the uncertainty, which makes people want to withhold and not necessarily want to invest. You know, when you're making a big financial decision like this, you want to be able to be sure of what you're doing. So if people are uncertain, the prices may not rise as quickly. And, it's something to take into consideration. But where the economy is headed, no one knows.
So let's take another look at a few more listings that just hit the real estate market.
So we have Tony here at 1235 Bishop. Tony's that's extremely busy. He's been doing extremely well. He has not one, but two listings. Another one at 1188 Saint-Antoine. And then we're followed through by Mr. Charles Roberts, has been with us for an extremely long time. He's got a nice piece of land at Fairview, not too far from the U.S. border. So if you're looking for land, that's definitely something to take into consideration.
So when we talk about the trade situation, what would that mean if you're thinking of buying or selling?
Well, for buyers, lower interest rate could make it easier for people to actually enter the market, but it could also make people also a little bit at ease, not knowing what the future holds. So, like I said before, some prices may not rise as quickly because you're not going to have as many people that are interested in investing at a time that they're not sure what the outcome is going to be at the end of the road.
And for the sellers, well, that might be a different story. It could take much longer to sell. But I think that with the low inventory that we've been seeing here in Canada with the demand, it shouldn't be much of a problem, but it could just slow it down. The number of days before the the house gets sold and notarized.
That's very true. And another thing for people that are looking for short-term rentals. Now we know that Montreal, they banned this thing,
yeah, we spoke about that last week.
There talks about it, but for the rest of Quebec and the rest of Canada, I mean, you're still able to do it in certain areas. So there are some rules and regulations for that. But before you get into that, it might not be the wisest investment for people to get into, not knowing what's going to happen in the future.
And I'd say it's a good time to think about your mortgage strategy. Would I go fixed? Would I go variable? I guess it depends on the level of risk that you're willing to tolerate. But if you ask me, I would go with a variable rate.
Yeah.
And what about you, Mike?
Well, variable rate is something that I've been into, but for some people that like a little bit of more of a secure situation, you go with a fixed rate on a longer term, especially if your financial situation is calculated. You don't want to have that fluctuation, during periods of such.
That's a good point. So before we wrap up, here are the last few listings we want to highlight for the day.
So we do have the Pedricks. They play curling. They're amazing. Etienne had an opportunity to actually do some curling.
I attempted to play
experience?
curling. That was quite an experience. Much harder than it looks on TV, I have to say.
Yeah.
Go visit the videos that we have on social. You'll see some of that. You can also go to Spotify to my channel, Etienne Mellor, and you'll get to see the whole interview. Great brother team, father and son team. We've just posted a new property, that same property actually, on our social media platform. You get to see Alex and Nicholas.
And we also have Mark Freeman. Mark Freeman has been with us for a very long time. Super, super knowledgeable in real estate, capable of answering a massive amount of questions, putting ourselves even in challenge at sometimes. But that's 905 Blixel. And then you also have Team Morielli, a family group again at 163 Terry Fox. They're doing super well. We just finished January. We're entering into February, and we're already seeing the brokers getting a lot of traction.
So that's it for today's New Listings Live. We've given you a peek at some of the best properties hitting the market and a deep dive into the impact of the Canada-US trade situation on the real estate landscape.
So remember, listen, if any of these properties that you saw interest you, let us know. If you have any questions regarding real estate, let us know. DM us. Go check mellorgroup.ca. Come on the Instagram account. Go on the Facebook account. Whatever it is that you need to get in touch with us, you have questions about real estate, we'll be more than happy to answer it for you.
So thanks for tuning in. And if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us. Until then, have a great week.
Have a good one.